I am wide awake. I hear my past trauma. I did it masterly. I maneuvered out the matrix to the 5D. Fiery darts being thrown at me. No time for sleep. I got lots to see.
Hi, how are you? Oh, welcome to my channel, Wide Awake. I am Dadrina Velour, and I want to share some of my many thoughts. Projection, projecting. So the question is, what are you projecting out into the world? What are you projecting? What are you adding? What are you giving to the world? So that has been with me for a few weeks now. I have been very mindful and just asking myself, what am I projecting? That a lot of what I've been doing or that I just wasn't aware of not projecting. It's almost the way that I perceive things. So the good thing about perception, it boils down to whatever you want that to be. How you see it. How you reason it to be. But then even with your perception of a thing, you have to know whether or not, or from what space are you projecting it? Like, how did you get to that conclusion of things? So you want to be sure that your thoughts are your own, that things are not being projected to you, that you're not, that you're in a good space, okay? That you have like a perfect balance to even perceive. Sometimes when we're out of balance, we're out of alignment, you know, our thoughts are like so off. So now the way that we perceive things are gonna be miscued. Is that a word? Projecting. I have really, thankfully, and I'm so grateful of my awareness of myself. You know, not that there are not spaces where I'm very unaware, you know, probably willingly unaware, right? But the areas where I'm so aware of myself, I'm so grateful. So this has really, what has really brought me here is it comes to me so quick when how I project onto my children. I project so many of my things onto my children. So then I'm just like, what am I projecting in this world then? You know, I perceive a person, a place, a thing a certain way, and I begin to send out that energy because that's how I believe it to be. And it's like, why do you believe that to be? And it's probably coming from some type of projection from childhood, from a parent, from another misconstrued place. So how are you, what are you projecting? How you deal with conflict, relationships with others, What type of dynamics do you have in relationship with others? Know that I feel that those relationships are all mirrors. They're mirrors for you. How do you handle relationships? So you're in a certain relationship, whether that be son daughter, whether that be husband wife, whether that be father son. So you have a certain relationship that you're in, that you're handling, and you're running into an issue, a problem, a complication, a disagreement, as we will do in relationships. And it's like, how do you deal with that? How do you deal with that? We a lot of the times, when there's an issue, it's never our fault. It's never our fault. It's always the other person's fault, right? It's never our fault. So if it's a relationship that you care about, and for me, I don't care to be in any type of dynamic that I don't care about. So if it's something that I'm in, okay, if it's someone that I deal with, then I care. So in with that, it's like, if it's a dynamic that you care about, then you want to know how to get through that issue. So you won't go straight to blaming, pointing the finger. Blaming and pointing the finger. You won't go straight to that. Because at some point, that blaming and pointing the finger could easily be projection. I'm like, oh, they don't never listen to me. But when all in all, really, you're the person that has a hard time listening. You're the one that has to control the entire conversation. But in your mind, you say, oh, they'll never listen to me. So you're projecting yourself on to that other person in their relationship. That's just one of the many ways that we project so much. Like, we don't even realize that. We don't, you have to become aware of yourself. And it's not always easy. You have to, what I call it, you have to get on your own ass. I be getting on my ass. Like, you have to be tired of self. You have to be tired of your own bullshit. You have to be willing to call yourself out. Like, you have to put yourself in, I put myself in my place. I'm going to put you in your place. If you're ready to rid people off, the moment they do or say something, that really what they're doing is something that's triggering a past thing that happened past a long time ago. So now this new relationship has triggered that past thing, and now you're ready to rid them off. I'm talking about me. I'll get rid of you. That's my go-to. I'll get rid of you. But what I am seeing and aware of now is that I will not have longevity in relationships. I'll never form healthy, strong bonds with people. Because when something occurs that I don't particularly care for, that leaves me wondering why, conflict arises. And I'm not a person to just wanna, let's talk it out. Especially if we're running into the same problem and it's the second, third, fourth time or the same issue. I'm not the one to talk it out. Because I have a reason to believe that when people do what they do, they know what they're doing. Okay? Unless you are mentally incompetent, unless you got some challenges here, because we have people out here that are mentally challenged, so I get it. But if you're a person that I see, that I look at as being, you're okay, your mind's okay. So I feel like a person knows what they're doing. So then it's like, okay, well, when you do what you do, then Adrena, what you must come to the conclusion is that when you do what you do, you know what you're doing. You know, and there's some things that like, oh, a person might see something one way. And I'm like, what? I did that. No, that's how they saw that I did that. But I'm not aware that I did that. That makes sense. So again, it's like, it's a perception and it's a projection. So yes, a lot of what I do, I realize that I'm doing it. So I feel like that's how people are. Are you hearing the projecting? How I do business, I feel like people do business like that as well. And that's not necessarily so. That's me and my perception. So I'll get my thing and I'll put it on someone else. This is just me and my shit. This is me and my shit. You hear me? Oh. I'll have to do a whole separate video talking about being able to separate when there's things being projected onto you, and when you're projecting things onto a person and like knowing what's truly yours. You know, it gets deep, it gets complicated. But you know, I try to constantly stay in a place of reflection. And might I say, you know, the last few days have been what I call a forced reflection. Because, you know, we had a snowstorm and everything. So everything's shut down, you know. It's like no work and no going anywhere, you know. So I call it a forced reflection. You know. So it's like collectively I feel like we all needed rest. We all needed a moment of reflection. And that's just how good or how terrible, however you perceive it, Mother Nature is. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, how are you gonna take it? Oh, how dare you force me into reflection? I can't be in this house for this long. Oh my God, if this snow don't go away, oh damn you, you know, Mother Earth. Or you can see it in another way. Man, I needed this rest. You know, I'm missing work. I'm missing out on my money or whatever. You know, I don't like being in this house like this. I gotta find stuff to do productive with myself, or shoot, not productive, and just lay around and eat and drink and be merry. You know what I'm saying? Like, ooh, thank God for this snow. I sure got tired of going in that job, seeing these folks or whatever. So there, it's up to you on how you want to perceive that thing. But I call it a forced moment of reflection. So reflecting I am doing still in the process of it, and it's been good, but it has not been easy. Just really having to swallow some things. I have been having to just really swallow some things, you know what I'm saying? You know, pride. Sometimes pride is it's like a lump. It's a lump, and it's not easy to swallow. You know what I'm saying? It's like dusting the salt off your shoulder. You know, when something you thought wasn't what it was, and what it was is not what you even almost thought. You know what I'm saying? It's like, man, so you start feeling a little salty, but you don't want the saltiness to make you bitter. You want to just kind of go and swallow it, accept it, you know what I'm saying? Head held high, you know what I'm saying? So, coming into the awareness is what is most important. So, you know what I'm saying? Always be compassionate with yourself. Giving yourself a pat on the back. And one of my number one reflections is that I do not give myself enough credit. So, you know, that's probably for a lot of us. You know, you don't give yourself enough credit. Tea have been keeping me sane. Tea have been keeping me sane. And deep breaths. I have been emotional, very emotional. And I feel like I can't say certain words or see certain things without breaking out into a song, you know. I often say my life is like a musical, you know. I mean, whenever I say emotional, Carl Thomas comes to mind. So emotional, I can't let go. But yeah. So I know, first of all, tears and everything is replenishment. So I feel like they're always good. You know, to hold back tears is like trying to hold back the rain from falling. At some point, it's coming. It's coming down. Like, it can't be stopped. You know what I'm saying? Like, you might even hear the meteorologists say that, you know, it's going to be light sprinkles today. But, you know, you never really see those light sprinkles. You know, perhaps it's sprinkled over in the north. But over in the west where you was, well, I ain't really see no sprinkles. But I'm telling you, they're coming. The tears are coming. Tears are coming. You must be replenished. Okay? So even my emotions the last few days, I must say that I feel that it's a projection onto me. It's me picking up on empathically, picking up on someone's or others' energy, you know. Again, a forced moment of reflection. So this have left people in a state to where they must sit with their self. You're not able to, I'm hearing stick and move. You're Papa with a rolling stone. Like you're not able to keep running. Keep running. You keep on running in and out of my life. And keep on running. I'm for real. What are you projecting? What are you putting out? What are you adding into the world? Into a relationship dynamic. What are you adding to that relationship and that dynamic? Don't even think about the other person. What they're doing, what they're not doing, how they did it, how you don't like what they did. Don't think about that. Don't think about that. Because no matter what we think, you can't control somebody else. You could try. But you can't control somebody else. I want to know, this is probably another video, but you want to know what I have come to the conclusion of. When a person tries to control someone else, they actually literally end up being the one controlled. But anyways, we can't control someone else. We shouldn't even try. It's not our job. But what we do have the ability to try to do is to control ourselves. Think about yourself. You, the I. What are you adding and what are you projecting into your relationship? Now, if you still listen to this video after this, then I perceive you as a person that are aware of yourself. You're aware of yourself. You want to do better, you want to be better. And that's why you are so much better. All right? So, hey, good job. That's all I have. I'm going to take another deep breath.
think I do a lot of laughing and smiling, you know what I'm saying? When the energy be heavy on me. But it's gonna be alright though. I cannot end this video without sending you love and light.